Music on the go has become a way of life, with MP3 players enabling everyone to now have their own personal soundtrack. But listening loud to drown out life's ambient noise can take its toll. Just ask Tim Emery.
It's the excitement of listening to music is sort of at volume.
Tim has spent years surrounded by sound, music made by others or that he's made on his own. Something that's added to his life, but unfortunately, taken away from his hearing.
The exact sort of pronunciation of words, you get to hear the edges are kind of rolled off, there's not as much high end, you just can't hear everything quite as well, so you end up guessing sometimes.
But people should not have to guess at the right ways to protect their hearing, says Dr. Brian Fliger, especially when it comes to listening with earphones.
If you can't hear somebody and they're 1 arm's length away from you, that means it's pretty loud, and if you listen all day long at that level, then you're going to be running some risk.
Dr. Fliger is a diagnostic audiologist at Children's Hospital in Boston and one of the preeminent researchers involved with studying the effects of loud music from MP3 players on people's hearing.
And now I'm going to turn it all the way up.
Fliger says the volume and the length of time you listen should always be considered together. If your MP3 player is at 90 to 100% of its volume, you can only listen to one song safely. At 80%, no more than 90 minutes. It's okay to listen at 70% for 4 hours. At 60% or below, listen all day if you'd like. If you don't follow these guidelines,
that sound is essentially going to prematurely age your ear.
Some MP3 players do turn up very loud. Some volumes go over 100 decibels. Now that may not mean much to the average person, but when we demonstrate here in this studio with this decibel meter, you can see just how loud that is. Right now we're at 105 decibels, 106, it's bouncing around, but some MP3 players will go up to 115 decibels, and you'd be listening to this in your ear. Which some people do. A just completed study by Fliger found that more than 50% of the people his team surveyed coming out of the subway listened too loud for too long. Something Fliger thinks they could have been warned about by device manufacturers.
These devices are very, very smart devices. You could incorporate certain things in there to monitor the level over time.
But it's something certain manufacturers don't really like to talk about. Instead of answering specific questions, Apple referred us to their website, which makes some reference to responsible listening. Microsoft, maker of the Zune, declined to participate in our story at all. And if some manufacturers don't want to proactively warn consumers, it means consumers will have to crank up the volume of the expert advice.